Hey, we are live.
We
Hello and welcome. I'm Ronnke, your GM, and in the stream today we have Rigel Kent, Gigaman, Pendragon, Megaquai, and unfortunately Nosh is still absent. Today we are playing a dungeon fantasy campaign set in our homegrown world of Palavar. We're using the very awesome GURPS system by Steve Jackson Games, and our VTT of choice is Fantasy Grounds. You can find this and past sessions on YouTube and as audio-only podcast. Links are in the video description. If you enjoy our content, please like this video and subscribe to our Twitch and YouTube channels. All right, let's begin with character business. Megaquai, do we have any character business for Danjo?
Nope, still saving up.
Okay, Pendragon, do we have any character business for Araraborea?
Yep. I'm using 1 point to buy dual weapon attack bow, and I'm adding another point in night vision for night vision 3.
All right.
You locked down yet?
No.
Nope, one more.
He'll be locked down after this one.
Yep.
Yep, that's all good. Rigel Kent, do we have any character business for Gareth?
Not at this time, no.
And Gigaman, do we have any character business for Kivvan?
Yes, I am currently leaning toward going for the Swashbuckler Knight multi-class lens out of DF Denizen Swashbucklers. Eventually, I won't go into the full details there, but I am starting to purchase the Swashbuckler items. So, for starters, enhanced parry for the sword and for mastery.
Cool. All good. All right, with that business out of the way, let's do the recap for last session. This one's a little bit longer than previous, but here it is.
But it was all one night.
Yeah, it was a long night.
At the campsite.
All right, here we go.
Read from the journal of Brother Aldrich Vane, Mission to Westwatch. Wayday, 54th day of Dawnrise, 286th year of the Crown. Our first night upon the Western Road began more comfortably than recent events had taught us to expect. Araraboya Yibitu Ivate returned from the hunt with a fine stag, which Humphrey Pennyworth prepared with admirable skill, while Danjo practiced his forms and Gareth de Garan observed his evening devotions to Agelia. I confess that Gareth's ritual interested me greatly. The careful tending of his armor, the measured turning toward each quarter, and the solemn appeal to his dread lawbringer for protection, discipline, and strength. Novice Petra watched him with equal fascination, though she devoted rather less dignity to her conversations with Kivvan Crowell. A jest concerning Sister Maren and the unfortunate likeness of a saddlebag escaped Petra's lips before discretion could reclaim it. Even Deacon Rolf struggled to maintain his composure, while Sister Maren merely reminded us that age permits a certain eccentricity. Later, Gareth asked about the governance of our order, and Sister Maren spoke of the conclave of the undying light. Flame. Rolf suggested that Gareth might one day join our ranks, but the warrior said that his soul was already spoken for. Our levity ended when Araraboya observed a lantern moving through the trees. 3 mounted travelers approached, and after suitable caution, were welcomed to our fire. They were merchants bound east for King's Rest, and they brought grim reports from the road behind them. Perhaps half a dozen hollow men had been wandering together not a mile away. Arariboya urged that we hunt the creatures immediately, fearing what they might do to other travelers. But Rolf refused to lead the company blindly through the woods at night. The merchants also spoke of Ashford, where refugees have gathered beyond the town. The watches have been doubled, and the beacon tower now remains manned through the night. Red sails had reportedly been sighted along the marches more than a 10-day ago, and the people have begun drilling their militia twice each week. Sister Maren told the travellers only that we journeyed westward to carry Solvarath's blessing to those in need, which was as much of our purpose as strangers required. After Kivvan purchased a little wine, the merchants departed with another warning about the dead. We doubled the watches, though Petra spent much of hers questioning Kivvan about mercenary life. Arariboya, unable to put aside the thought of wandering abominations, later slipped from camp, despite Rolf's warning, and went searching for them alone. It was during Danjo's watch with me that the Hollow Men found us. Sent to gather wood for the failing fire, Danjo heard movement and discovered shapes advancing deliberately toward the camp. His warning gave us barely enough time to rise and take up arms before skeletons and a wight rushed into the firelight. Gareth met them with shield and sword, breaking bone with such force that several were shattered where they stood. Danjo struck from the rear, Kivvan recovered from an unfortunate first pass to bring down another, and Rolf fought desperately to protect Petra and Sister Maren. The dead appeared intent upon reaching Maren rather than merely attacking whoever stood nearest. When she struck her staff against the earth, the camp blazed with a light like day. Arariboya returned in the midst of the battle and slew the wight with a well-placed arrow. Soon afterward, the last skeleton fell. None among us was gravely wounded, but the victory brought troubling revelations. Sister Maren disclosed that the amulet beneath her robes was the locator seal, an artifact attuned to the relic we seek in Westwatch, and perhaps also a beacon to the dead. Worse still, Kivvan found the insignia of the Free Swords Company upon several of the fallen. How these mercenaries came to walk as hollow men so far from where they ought to have been, and what drew them so directly to our mission, remains unknown. We shall raise a visible cairn rather than consign them namelessly to the earth, for the forgotten dead seldom find true rest. Thus, our first night ended, the fire restored, the company unharmed, and the road before us darker than it had seemed at sunset.
Okay. We shall begin in the morning.
Do, 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 do.
Should I
It
run for
is-
nightmares?
It is Shore Day, the 55th day of Dawnrise. Sorry, I'm going to mess that up all the time. 286. And it is 7 in the morning, or 7 in the dawning.
Which means Gareth has already done his morning rituals because he does that at dawn.
Does he have a particular morning ritual that's different from his evening one?
Just the words. Otherwise, he basically greets the sun, the same way. We're reciting those words each time.
Well, if the words are different, then
Yeah, I stole it from Tolkien.
So then, by all means, give us the
Right.
words that you say.
So when he greets the sun, he does the ritual, which is, "Here do I swear fealty and service to thee, dread lawbringer, and to thine precepts, to yield and to hold fast as needed, to stand as thine shield for the righteous, the meek and dispossessed, to come and to go, in need or in plenty, in peace or in war, in living or dying, from foes in the east, until thou dost release me, or death take me, or the world end. So say I, Gareth, son of Geralt." And then, he would he'd turn around, face a different direction and do it again, east, north, west, south.
Again, Your ritual has intrigued some of the people that you travel with, particularly Aldrich. His scholarly interest has him taking some notes.
Everybody's so loud. I'm going to go over to the wood lion and make my sacrifice to the gods.
And I had forgotten that my shield was slightly damaged, and
yeah.
I have the last watch. Could I have spent that basically doing repairs?
Probably not without waking people up.
Okay.
But given that the night was not a peaceful one, I think Arari Boya, you are actually suffering -1 fatigue due to lack of sleep.
Okay.
The rest of you, because you went off after your watch, gallivanting around looking for dead people. So you didn't sleep immediately after that, so you're going to be fatigued. You're going to have 1 fatigue, so not 2. Everyone else has had the opportunity to recover fatigue unless you have something like nightmares or effects
Yeah.
like that.
Do I still roll for nightmares?
You do, because the potential for lack of sleep goes up to -2 points.
Okay. Not great. Oh no, succeeded. Yay.
Yeah, you don't want to succeed on that.
No,
So,
you do
given
want to succeed. Remember, that's 12 or less. Doesn't
Was that
trigger.
the other way?
I'm fairly certain that's the way it is.
No, I think it's a good thing to succeed, if I recall correctly.
did we get you to make a fright check when you encountered the Holomen?
Me? No.
Note that it says make a self-control. If you fail, you suffered
Right.
the nightmares.
Given the nature of your nightmares and the what occurred last night, there was probably grounds for some penalties there.
Well, boy has
You
had
just-
experience with the undead, though. He might not be so bothered.
Well, that's
GM
why
just wants to screw you over. We see how it is.
that's why I was asking if he made the fright check. But
No,
doesn't
I
matter.
haven't.
You did manage to get some sleep, so your fatigue will be 1. Everyone else has managed to recover all their fatigue. Rolf will get a health roll to see if he heals some. I think we had determined that this is at -2.
So it's -2 for light duty, -4 for more heavy work.
Yeah, in that
In
case,
this
it probably
case-
would have needed to be a -4 because he was fighting.
Well, there's a bit of that too. Yeah. Did we write that down somewhere?
Probably not.
Well, he wasn't really fighting, but because he didn't actually get to hit anything.
Well, it was adrenaline. There was combat.
In any case, I'll just give him the -2, so he will recover one hit point. His arm will still be crippled.
Right. He was at lasting but not permanent.
Correct. So through the night, it's up to you guys whether you slept well or not, whether the you know, the encounter, you know, kept you up thinking about stuff. That's entirely up to you guys how that affected you. But in this case, you can see that this morning Petra is quite sluggish. Obviously, she did not sleep well at all. So she's also going to minus fatigue.
Actually, we will have spent quite a bit of time piling up rocks for these for the fallen.
Oh yeah.
Well, I imagine you would have waited till the dawn to do that.
Well, we could have, in which case we're about to get started.
So Humphrey will have some food cooking. He is using what's left. He's managed to salvage from the deer that Araraboya brought in the previous day. And he's also going through the process of salting some of that meat so that it'll keep for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way we're going to eat that whole thing.
No.
Yeah, it is. We're going to take the rest of it with us.
Yeah, well, then
You can make jerky.
then it's going to start smelling. So Humphrey is at least salting some good cuts that he will take with. The morning, given that the night was not a good one, you're going to set out later in the day than earlier. So, Gareth, you will have time to do some shield repairs if you like.
Yep.
And others will have time to do stuff if you want to. Well, you've got to build the can.
Danjo will have started when he having breakfast first thing in the morning. He closes his eyes, claps his hands, and gets a bit of the food that he's been given for breakfast and throws it in the fire. But he doesn't explain what he's doing.
Humphrey will look at that and he will say, What's wrong with my breakfast? You don't like it?
It's not that. I'm giving offering to the kami that protected us overnight.
The who what now?
Well, that's kind of exactly what Aldrich says. Kami? What's Kami? I've not heard of that before.
The spirits and beings that inhabit the land around us.
I see. Hold that thought, and you'll see that he'll put down his plate of breakfast on the log beside him. He'll rush off to his tent, and he comes back with his book that he's been scribbling in the whole time. He'll sit down and he'll begin to ask more questions about your kami and how this works and why it is that you believe this and all that sort of stuff. Feel free to let us know. Otherwise, he will just basically document what you're saying.
Yeah, well, he isn't 100% deep into the faith, but as it is, every Asian person knows their basic religion, don't they? Especially Japanese.
Well, you're not Japanese. You'll actually have to come up with a name for your peoples.
Well, basically like Shintoism, the faith is, but it's viewed through a Westerner's eyes, isn't it?
No, I mean, your people will have a name. Like, you're not Japanese, you are something.
Yeah, I'll have to think of that.
Give that
Yeah,
some
he hadn't
thought.
thought of that yet.
So, yeah,
That's
he
your
will,
job.
he will document everything. And, yeah, he asks all sorts of questions, obviously some that you probably don't even have answers for. All right, is that why animal handling?
Because I clicked on the wrong one. The result's the same though. The armory melee is still 10.
I think every roll lets you heal a margin of success.
It's 1 times the margin of success, yeah. So now my shield's only down 1 hit point.
Okay, well, you probably have a little extra time if you want to take that to brand new because, people are still doing stuff. It's going to take you a while to gather the rocks to build your little
Well, I'm going to be
shrine.
helping gathering the rocks and doing all that as well.
All right, well, then you leave your shield at not quite finished.
Yeah.
And then you will gather the corpses, place them in your shrine. Sister Marin and the members of the Pale Flame will take a knee. You see, you see that
Gareth does as well.
Aldrich has taken a candle, a small candle from the wagon, and he's placed it on the shrine. It is lit, and a prayer is said. With these not quite last rites because they are unnamed. The rest of the time is spent getting the camp ready. Is there anything that Arariboya, I'm gonna forever be messing that one up.
Just shorten
Don't
it.
worry, you can say Ari, it's fine.
Just call him Boya.
Or Boya, yes.
I like Boyo.
Hey,
No, the more I
Boya.
say it, the more chance there is I'll get it right. Is there anything
I
that
don't
he's
think
doing
that's
in
been our
particular?
experience.
Yes, since he doesn't care at all about all this funerary rites or religious stuff, he's going around and having a look how things are, the path you're going to go just a little bit ahead to see if there are any other hollow men or anything that should be. It's important that we anticipate.
Okay. Let's get you to roll on this table.
There's a table.
Roll on that one.
Universe. Okie dokie. Not interesting. Well, better than bad.
I'll also get you to roll on this table. Oh, who has weather sense? Does anyone have weather sense?
I have naturalist, which kind of covers a little bit of that, if I'm not mistaken.
Weather sense might actually have a default then.
Does it not?
It is... No, it only
IQ
has
minus 5.
IQ minus 5. So, Ari, you can give me an IQ minus 5 roll.
Well, I guess I'll buy weather sense next session.
Because I want you to roll on that table for me, please.
Who's the smart guy in the current group?
What did I just do? No, I rolled at -5. I don't know. Funny.
So that would have been 10.
Yep.
So 10 is passable. There's no effect on your travel speed or any skill rolls.
And I failed my IQ roll.
From what you can tell, the weather looks like it's going to be good or favourable for travel.
But Ronnke, quick question. Wouldn't I be able to use naturalist to assess that? It's a bit of a catch-all skill.
Look up naturalist in the abilities. Feel free to paste the description.
So,
we can see if it is. Otherwise, we'll use that roll. You don't know for certain, but at least the weather looks good at the moment.
mhm.
It's kind of vaguely applicable, which makes me wonder why that wasn't included as a default.
Okay. So you rolled 12. Would that have made any difference?
No, I suck. I suck at naturalist. Doesn't matter.
All right. So
yeah, I would think the way to do that would be to allow that to default from either IQ or naturalist at the same -5.
yeah, that's fine. That will work. In either case, for the moment, the weather looks fine. You don't know if it's going to hold out that way.
Okie dokie.
If there is nothing else, then the camp is packed up. The last thing that sort of happens before the camp is packed up, you'll see that Petra will be applying fresh bandaging to Rolf's arm, which you see that he grumbles every now and then, saying, I'm alright. It's just a flesh wound. And then, Petra's there saying, hold still. I have one job here. Well, not one job, but I have a job here and I'm going to do it.
While everybody is focused on packing up, Kivvan is going to go by the cairn and pour out a little bit of ale and say, "Rest easy, lads. Your fight is over."
Does Kivvan believe that Mordoveth claims all souls that were lost in due to violence?
I think I think the way Kivvan would answer the question would be to say all the gods can sod off.
Okay, so Kivvan, you will do your thing. And then the camp. Okay, what's this? All right. And you will start on the road. Rolf will say, Ari, same as yesterday. Stay ahead no more than 50 yards and always keep in sight. Given what happened last night, let's pay extra attention, shall we?
I just agree with my head and I go.
The I think of the image. Did I not have the image?
Of course you had the image. Don't be silly.
I must have removed it from my list. You continue on the road to Stillwater. If people have hiking, you can make a health-based hiking roll. Otherwise, I'll get everyone to make a health roll.
Hiking is health-based.
Right.
Okay, then just make straight hiking.
I bet we do
Success
that
by
every time.
6.
Failure results in your margin of failure in fatigues.
Here we go again.
All right, so Kivvan, you will suffer 3 fatigue. Danjo, you will suffer 2 fatigue. These fatigues will only recover as a result of some good rest. Was that the thing that we were going to work out, the long-term fatigue? Maybe that was it.
Possibly. I know I did actually look into that, and while it was expanded upon a little bit and clarified in after the end, I don't think there wasn't a journey fatigue points thing. So all I've seen is hunger, thirst, sleep, the specifics.
Okay. By the end of the day, you have not quite made it to Stillwater. Ari, I think it's been you. You can make a survival roll to find a decent campsite.
Yeah, it defaults to -3, I think, because I have woodlands only.
How far out are we?
You imagine that it's only like a few hours before you get to Stillwater. A navigation roll would, if you have navigation roll would probably help you. All right, so success means you can choose 2 of the 3 options: comfort, lines of sight, or concealment. Which of those two do you choose?
I'll go for comfort and concealment.
All right, so you choose a camp this time where you are out of the line of sight from the road, in a comfortable location, sparing you from the wind that blows across these plains. Unless you have anything special that you want to achieve during that night, the night will pass without event. Everyone, you can make your nightmares roll. Ari, everyone else can recover their full fatigue.
Great.
Okay, so no nightmares for Ari. And Rolf.
Oof.
You'll
Oh,
make,
wow.
That's interesting.
I don't know if that means you break it or not.
I am in the process of looking it up. So carry on.
Rolf will actually recover one more hit point.
Well, it doesn't say anything in there about critical fails or critical successes.
I feel
would
like there's a
assume that
loss of materials, but I think I may be remembering D&D in that regard.
well, let's just assume that you make no headway at all. You break a strap or the glue or whatever it is, and your whole time spent is fixing what you broke.
Yep. Sounds good.
How many hit points down was it?
1.
Oh.
Oh, originally 4.
Yeah, out of how many?
Apparently 18.
Oh yeah, it was just scuffed up a bit. You had some stuff peeling off where it wasn't supposed to.
Yep. That's why I didn't have to actually spend money to repair it, because it still had positive hit points.
Ah.
So for the last part of your trip to Stillwater, you are actually walking along a lakeside. This is quite a large lake. If you have a look at the map, that lake is
Right.
35 miles in size, sort of thing. So it is on your right-hand side as you approach Stillwater.
And it's very flat. It's very calm. It's still almost.
Indeed.
Hmm.
And the first thing that you notice is there'll be a few farms that the road sort of passes through before you get to the city proper, and you see Stillwater. There, it is a quaint little village that sits on a river that opens out into this lake.
Perfect place for a bath.
I don't know if I call that perfect.
Any place is a good place for a bath.
I do not disagree with that.
So Sister Marin will say, we'll spend the night here. We'll find a place in the inn. Spend the night here. Recover. Gather some more supplies before we take the next leg of the road west, which will be the longest part of our journey. So make the best of your time here in Stillwater. It'll be the last civilized place we see for a number of days.
The best of our time. And some of us are still dead broke.
I guess all of us know.
Mm-hmm. Didn't somebody have double digits?
Yeah, I think that was Danjo.
No, I happen to have 60 monies.
Okay,
Hang on
it's
one
not
second. I've just
Danjo.
got to take a phone call. Talk amongst yourselves.
Lame.
I think I'm
Well.
going to buy, if I have the money, a arrow making kit or something.
What does that require, I wonder? Out of
I've seen the low tech. I think I won't be able to afford it, but I'll have a look now.
oh, carving up the shafts shouldn't be too bad, and if you've got the arrowheads already, all you have to do is, well, you need glue and the feathers for the fletchings. So there's definitely a material cost involved. Yeah, this is one of those cases where I generally end up referring to Low-Tech Companion 3 with all the crafting stuff in there. Same for repairing the shield, which I seem to recall we had to do in Banestorm at least once or twice.
No, I just
sorry
went
about
to
that.
the basic book. I just went to the basic book for the repairs.
Yeah, I think the issue was trying to figure out how much it would actually cost.
Yeah, but
I don't
I
know.
think in
That was a
that
long time
case it
ago.
was building something from scratch. I think.
No, in my case before, I know that it was a shield and trying to repair a shield. I just don't remember. I don't remember what the problem was that we were attempting to solve there. It was only over a decade ago, I'm sure. Anywho.
All right, so you will settle in the inn. It will be a common room that you will share. So everyone's going to be in the same spot. You can leave your gear or do whatever. Is there anything in particular that you guys want to do while in town?
Have a bath.
Actually, that's a interesting question. Is that service available at this inn?
The inn does have a bath. The innkeep can boil up some hot water if you wish to have a hot bath. Otherwise, there is, of course, the river.
Yeah, I'm gonna go dunk myself in the river. I can't afford to get the hot bath.
Yeah, same. And I also can't afford the Fletcher's kit. It's 95 monies. I only have 60.
Did you say 95 monies?
Yes, 95 gold pieces.
I haven't heard
No,
it
those are
referred to
copper
that.
pieces. Gold are worth a lot more than that. They're called
Sorry
GURPS,
again?
by the way.
Yeah, I'll call it GURPS then. Yeah, 95 GURPS. I have 60.
Now, see what you do is you go to the Pale Flame guys here and say, "We need this for our journey. so that we can be better prepared, and then have them buy it.
That is a great point. That is a great point. So I
See,
might actually do that.
Kivvan was thinking the same thing. He was going to go run around this village, town, whatever it is, and try to see if he could scrape up some pole arms, like bills maybe, or whatever he could find, and see if anybody would be willing to make a donation to the fine Pale Flame order of the Pale Flame.
You do have panhandling, right?
Which does remind me, when you do come into the village proper, you will see that some of the townsfolk will come up to the Pale Flame members, and they will be giving like offerings. So that might be, you'll see it'll vary from, things of some coin. Sometimes it might be some food, things like that. So when the Pale Flame enter the town, there is some, reverence that seems to be taking place, and with every offering, the Pale Flame members will, give a short blessing. You'll see that it's Aldrich actually has a bag, and he will collect each one of the offerings from the townsfolk as they come up and do their thing. How familiar you guys are with this particular cultural trait or practice is entirely up to you guys. And of course, Petra will help collect some of these offerings. They're not like major things. They're only small. And you'll hear every now and then, Marin or Aldrich or Petra will say, we'll see that some of this, we'll see that some of this goes to the people in need.
I like that. And every time Kivvan leans one way, he starts to reconsider and goes the other way.
He may,
so
yeah.
Go ahead, Gigaman. Oh,
I was going to say he may have to take some mental notes on behavior patterns and that sort of thing, so he can mimic that later.
yeah. So
We'll
I'm going
have
to
you as
approach.
a godly man in no time.
So I'll approach Deacon and try to convince him. It's kind of important that we have a Fletcher's kit and a few, spare parts for arrows, since this is the last stop until Stillwater.
Or not Stillwater.
Not Stillwater. Sorry, Westwatch.
Westwatch, right?
So before you're sort of all left to your own devices, Rolf will take Kivvan aside, and he will say, I've noticed that you have a let's say a joy of the drink. The people here
It's
have
totally
seen
an
you
intervention.
the people here have seen you enter with us, so you represent the Pale Flame. We would appreciate it if you try and keep a clear head this evening.
It's all right. I'll make
And-
sure to drink anyone under the table, just in the name of the pale flame.
He will.
I will not be defeated.
His facial expression screws up a little, and he says, "Well, you understand what I mean."
I do. No promises. I'll try to be on my best behavior. The secret is to tease it out over a long period instead of taking it all at once.
And with that, Rolf will also distribute to the group 20 copper pieces to each of you, with the
Wow.
instructions to organize any particular supplies and such for yourselves. Anything that you'll need for the next stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make my point about the Fletcher's kit and some spare parts, some spare arrow parts? This is not enough to buy the Fletcher's kit.
Well, you
It
get a
would be
cheap one.
very useful. Yeah, I can get a second-hand one maybe.
Mm-hmm. Actually, there was a thing for that in Dungeon Fantasy 1 about getting stuff secondhand.
If you need fletching, go catch some birds.
That's not so hard.
Use their feathers.
Although I think
I've got
arrows
4.
made out of pigeon feathers are probably not super well regarded.
There should be ducks or something around here. Geese.
Yes, there will be.
Geese.
Hopefully this works. I'm not sure if I've done this before. Did it work? Yes.
Oh yes, it did.
Well, I had already added it, so now I have to remove that. Oh,
Yeah.
but you
So did
use
I.
CP instead of copper, so yeah, we have to get to use the same terminology on that so that it distributes it properly. So if you're
Well,
using
we'll
CP,
be
we should
using.
use CP.
We will be using copper farthings, silver pennies, and gold coin, I think is the term in DF.
Right.
Gold chunks.
Is
It's not
that
a
how
So
crown.
CS,
is that how
Surprised
you're
it's not a
planning to
crown.
sorry, is that how you're planning to record it as CP?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so we should all use that then.
And of course, they will translate to monies, standard GURPSes. So the horses are stabled, the cart is secured in the stable. The inn lodgings are accounted for. You guys are free to do as you wish. You do see that there is a small temple for the Pale Flame in town. You would have also noticed that there is a shrine just across the bridge out of town to Thren. And there's a number of knotted ropes that are attached to it. What is it you guys want to do?
We need to use the tracker.
Sorry, I was in the process of typing. I'm gonna go looking to buy some stuff.
I guess that's really the question. Is anybody hanging out together, or are we splitting up?
It's a good question.
Well,
I don't know.
go ahead, Roger.
No, I was just saying it's a good question. I don't know.
Well, if you're going to buy stuff, I think I might hang out with you.
Yeah, I'm clearly not going to be able to buy a lot, but
Neither will I, probably.
Well, Kivvan is going
Actually,
to do as I mentioned earlier. He's going to go around town looking for something that'll serve as a serviceable polearm, or 3.
so just because Kivvan is it, Kivvan, you will, as you're sort of, about to head off down the street, you'll feel a sort of tug on your coat or whatever from behind. You'll turn around and you'll catch where else?
Catch a ball. Catch a fly.
Yeah. I'm never going to get used to the non-radial menu for sharing stuff.
It is really weird. It should be easier, but it's not.
Yeah, the radial
Yeah,
menu
anyway.
just seemed really fast. But anyway, you will see that Petra is holding a large bag, which you recognize as the bag that was for offerings and such. She says, Kivvan, if you're not doing anything, would you be able to help me take these to the temple?
Oh, sure, love. We might want to make a stop first, though.
She will nod, says, "Oh, I've only been asked to deliver these to the temple. Rolf and Sister Marin have nothing else for me to do today." And she'll say, Where is it you're going?
I'm looking for weapons. Something that I'm hoping you would be able to learn. And drink.
She
Not
hands you
necessarily in that order.
She hands you the bag, fully expecting you to carry it. And then she sort of puts a hand on the sword. She says, Is this not enough? You've been teaching me this.
Aye, but I find polearms are excellent for fighting things you don't want to get close to.
She chuckles a little and she says, Well, that will make Rolf happy.
Indeed.
So she starts walking ahead of you, stops and turns around. So where do we have to go?
Let's start that way. He's basically just gonna wander around town looking for stuff.
You're totally going to run into Gareth buying a quarterstaff from some dude.
Quite possibly.
So is the group splitting up or going together?
Sounds like we're sort of mostly splitting up.
Okay. In that case, Humphrey's going to go off to the butcher and, supply store and whatnot. I will get everyone to pre-make a observation or observation or perception roll into the box, please. For this, Kivvan, you can make this as a +2.
How intriguing.
Yep, that's everyone. Okay. All right. Well, since we started with Petra and Kivvan, we'll continue with them. You will wander the town. You'll ask around, and you will be informed that there is a blacksmith that has a store of weapons. This is not the sort of town that actually has a dedicated weaponsmith or armorer. So it falls under the role of the blacksmith, and you're told that he'll have some things that he's either traded along the way or made. So you'll be directed to that place, and before you'll smell it before you get there. The the smell of burning coal and iron. And then you'll hear the sound of the tink, tink, tink. And you'll approach an open area where you see there's a rather strong guy with a forger's apron on, and he's hammering away at an anvil and shaping a horseshoe. So,
all right.
You approach. He will dunk the horseshoe in to some water. He'll see you approach, and he doesn't stop. He walks over to a horse. He'll sort of lift the leg, and he'll check the fitting of the shoe. Then he again puts it back in the forge, and then while it sort of heats up, he says, greetings to you, and small blessings to you, little one.
So
Petra
Kivvan
will
is
sort
going to try to get a read on this guy, see if he can figure anything out about his poise or stuff lying around, see if this guy's military experience or something like that. Just looks like a peasant, whatever.
You could certainly make a soldier roll, or if you have body language, that seems like a fitting skill.
Yes, he is not the body language kind of guy. But so if he gets the impression this guy's got a military bearing about him, he'll treat him as such. Otherwise, he'll just carry on.
Well, you
But
look
he
him
will-
over. You can see that he does have a small collection of weapons that sort of are in a cask, like a barrel.
Mhm.
They're just sort of laying there. Obviously, they some of them have bits of rust, just surface rust, since they've been obviously sitting there for a little while. But by the looks of him, he doesn't seem to have that military stature about him. And he said, if he has been in the done service, it's probably a long time ago, as he's got, he's lost a little bit of that military physique.
Well, Kivvan will note the rust on the weapons in the barrel and say, I take it by the condition of those weapons there that you guys don't get a lot of action around here.
He'll nod and says, that's a good thing, isn't it? For those weapons there, it's only a little surface rust, a quick polish, and they'll come up good. They'll serve you well. Are you looking to buy something?
You the one makes all the blades around this village?
I'm the one that makes anything with steel. I'll fit your horses. I'll make your plows. I do it all. In fact, I'm the only one in town that can do that.
As it happens, I'm in the market for some pole arms, maybe a bill or something near to that. Whatever might be handy. We're just scraping up what we can on the way.
He says, I'll see what I've got. I don't have any pole arms ready to go, but I think I might have some heads here that can be fitted to a shaft. And you'll see he'll sort of go out back and he'll pull out a large crate from under a shelf. He'll drag it along the ground. Gestures for you to come over, and he says, anything in here, take your fancy. Like I said, I can put it on a good shaft. It'll take me a little bit. Petra sort of wanders over, and just out of curiosity, she just looks in there, and obviously it doesn't mean a great deal to her, but she's just inquisitive.
Well, actually, Kivvan will turn to Petra and say, "Now, do you know what a bill is? That is technically just a farming implement that it tends to get taken to battle and can serve you well in a pinch as a pole arm. Although there are plenty of better ones."
She says, she looks up to you and she says, is there a bill in that crate?
I think that probably is one.
Then she smiles and she points. She says, yes, I know. That there is a bill. And she gives you like a cheeky smile.
So yeah, Kivvan will say, we'll tell the man that I don't have much in the way of coin on me, but I'm here with the order, and they would be certainly happy for a donation, or possibly we can afford something if we need to. I think this might work if we can get a serviceable shaft.
So he will dig into the crate and pull out the head of a bill, and it has sort of gathered a little bit of rust. So again, surface rust.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a reaction roll. Add any modifiers that might be present. You can add the fact that Petra is here as a +1 reputation by association.
So most of this is not going to apply, but that will. So we got 1 for Petra, -1 for his odious personal habits. And I think what he will attempt to use here, since he is trying to get a donation out of this, is use panhandling.
Has that ever been rolled in this game?
I don't
at
think
all?
it has, and now it hasn't, or now it has. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have luck, so I can't really fix that.
So a failed panhandling becomes a bad reaction or poor?
It's an influence roll here, so just doesn't necessarily mean he's pissed off. It just means it didn't work. Although we can be more specific. Da, 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 da. On a fail, you receive nothing. Crit fail, you are assaulted or have a run-in with the law. Of course, now that is specific to the actual begging for money. This is kind of, sort of.
Okay.
Anyway.
Then
For the record, a cheap bill is 50, I think.
he says, let me do a reaction roll for Petra. Actually, I'll get you to roll on your reaction thing.
Oh, well.
Wait a sec. Does your table universal reaction have a standard reaction?
No, I don't have that. That would seem redundant. Right.
Okay.
This is supposed to go the other way.
He says, I would love to offer the Pale Flame an offering, but unfortunately, times are a little tough. I'll have to ask at least 50 farthings for this one. I'll fit it with a good, strong shaft, and I'll clean it up. I'll get rid of that rust and give it a coat of oil and season it. It'll serve you well, but it'll be 50 farthings for the service.
All right. Well, let me see what we can scrape up, and if we don't make it, then you've at least just lost a little bit of time. And have a good bill.
He then puts the head back into the crate, slides it under the shelf, and says, "Well, see what you can do. Happy to be of service."
So, and then he'll walk off. I guess we'll head over to whatever it is that Petra's got to do before he goes to start looking for drink. But as we're walking away, he'll say, "So, how much is in there?" Or I guess he's got the bag.
He's got the bag.
How jingly is it?
Is Kivvan going to ask straight up Petra, or is he going to try and work that out himself?
I don't think he has any particular skills in that regard. He'll just say, "Hey, how much you think is in here?"
He'll shrug and say, I don't know. I know Sister Marin kept some for the mission, but there is some coin in there. She says, "You're not thinking of using it?"
Of course I'm thinking of using it. The question is, will I?
She says, you can't. These are offerings from the people to the temple.
And that's why it's a question and not a certainty.
She says, "I'll not allow it."
Noted. But seriously, how much do you think is in there?
She will just sort of give you a disapproving look and not answer and start walking.
Fair enough.
Okay. You will get to the temple, and it is just a small affair. It's a little more than a sort of a room that is attached to what would be the living quarters of, or the house of, the priest here. It is a one-story affair, and there's a bell that's at ground level. It's on a little frame, a bell that sort of is at the entrance. Petra runs up to the bell, gives it one little ring, and then opens the doors and enters in, and you will be met by this guy.
He has a picture. He's important.
He looks like he's half undead.
I was
Nah,
gonna
he's
say he
just
looks
old.
tired.
Or a mummy.
So Petra will walk on in, and she'll say, "Good morning, brother." And the guy will reply, "Novice? What are you doing in my temple? I did not receive word that anyone would be visiting, or anyone from the order would be visiting." And she'll quite happily say, "Yeah, I'm here with Sister Marin, Deacon Rolf, and Brother Aldrich. We are headed west." And he will sort of nod, and he'll say, and she'll say, "Oh, and I'm Petra. This here," and she'll just point, "is Kivvan." And
He
she'll
might
say,
be a thief.
we collected some offerings when we came in. And Petra will sort of gesture to Kivvan to hand over the bag.
He'll look very sad for a nanosecond, then hand it over and say, "Merry Feast Day."
The guy will sort of give you a nod. He says, "Edwin, welcome to my temple, and thank you. Solvreth blesses you for these offerings." He'll take the bag and have a look in, and then he'll sort of take it and seat it on one of the pews, the benches in the pews. He says, "Novice, by any chance, would your company have some fresh candles? We are almost out here. We haven't had anyone come through for some time. I've sent away a request for more candles, but they as of yet have not arrived." She says, Oh, we have lots of candles. I can go and ask Rolf if we can spare some, and he'll reply, "Thank you, little one." And he'll then look to Kivvan, and he says, "What of yourself? You don't look like you're part of the order."
No, I am not. Just the hired help.
He'll give you a questioning look. Hired help. He then sort of looks down at your sword and, what sort of help do the Pale Flame need from one such as yourself?
Armed escort? In case we get attacked by hollow men, like we did the other night?
He will say,
Or bandits.
he said you were attacked by hollow men?
Yeah, just came out of nowhere. Jumped to set our camp.
That's unusual. I've heard stories of hollow men wandering the west, but none here. Where did you come from?
We were coming from King's Rest and not halfway here when that occurred. Kind of wondered if anyone here in the village hadn't seen him passing through.
Well, I'm sure if they had, I would have heard of it, but I've not heard any stories of hollow men at Stillwater.
Yep.
People come from west and talk of hollow men there, but not here.
Perhaps a coincidence. Pay it no mind.
He will say, "Would you care to join me in prayer? I'll ask Solverath to look over you."
I will not, but I will go pour one out for the gods at the nearest place that sells booze.
He will sort of nod and get a sort of disapproving look from Petra, and you can see that Petra kind of wants to stay and say some prayers, but then she says, I think we need to go. I should return. I'll ask Rolf about those candles." And with that, you leave, and the priest will, bid you farewell until the evening, or until later.
Ah, well.
Then I guess you will go and try and find some drink at the inn.
Yes, he'll tell Petra, "I'm going to very dirty places, love. You may not want to follow."
Well, she says, you should have stayed for prayer."
How does he respond to that? Gonna have to think that through. But he'll have something snarky to say. And then she'll give him a disapproving look.
Perception rolls. All right, so you will head back to the inn. As far as you know, the inn is the only place that is selling alcohol. There's probably some people that do have some home brew and such, but the inn is the only sort of ale house.
Homebrew is just fine by me, but he'll take whatever he can get. I assume he'll escort Petra back to the inn to meet up with the rest anyway, so it's a good place to start.
All right. Is there anyone else that wanted to do anything in particular? We'll handle you next.
I was trying to find a Fletcher kit, but I think I changed my mind. I'm just going to buy the arrows with the money I have.
Wonder if you can get fine arrows.
Or what if I can afford fine arrows?
See, how much do the arrows cost normally?
It's two copper farthings per arrow.
So $2 each. So it'd be $8
Yeah.
for a fine arrow.
Yeah, that's
So we
a
could
lot.
get 2, and he would have 4 left over.
Yeah, I think I'm
Yes,
going
but
to
those
buy
are
10
two fine
regular.
arrows.
Yeah, I'll save them for the boss.
All right, so give me an IQ roll.
Okey-dokey.
Ari, or merchant in this case.
Yeah, I think both of us are going forth and doing that same.
All right, so you two will be going together.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay,
I gotta get a quarterstaff.
There is no need for another roll then. Ari, you will sort of ask around and you'll find out that there's 2 places in town, or Ari and Gareth, there's 2 places in town you can visit. The blacksmith will have some arrowheads or arrows. There's also a trapper that lives in the village that will be able to service you with some arrows. He usually has a store of those.
I'm inclined to go into the trapper, to be honest. I think I'll go to him.
Okay. The village is not very big. The trapper lives at the edge of the village, alongside the stream. You will approach in the sort of late morning. You see there's a guy. There's a couple of kids that are sort of playing outside. They're sort of, kicking a small ball, giggling and laughing, while there's a guy that you imagine is the trapper, as he has a skin stretched out on a frame, and is in the process of tanning it.
Well, that checks.
Yeah.
I arrive and I ask him if he has bodkin arrows to sell and how much are they.
I was gonna say if he's out there tanning, you're gonna smell it long before you see it.
That's
Exactly.
absolutely true.
So when you approach, Gareth, I assume you're wearing your armor and like kit.
Yeah, probably.
So on your approach, you're noticed coming alongside the road. The little path follows the river to his house. The kids will sort of notice you first, and then they'll sort of call out to their what you assume is their father. he'll sort of turn around and watch your approach, and the kids sort of run up and sort of stand behind him. And he'll sort of walk over. You see the kids are maybe a little bit intimidated by your approach. The guy will say, hello. I wasn't expecting guests.
Hi there. We've just passing by. I might be in need of some arrows. I've heard you have some for sale.
He will then, you see, he visibly sort of relaxes a little. He says, yeah, I have some arrows I can spare.
That's excellent.
He will say, just wait here. And he then sort of says, kids, inside to your mother. And the kids
did
will
not mean
sort
to
of,
interrupt their game.
he says, actually, give me reaction rolls. That will probably determine how trusting he is.
Wow, great.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, this is
Well, you
sort
are a
of
foreigner.
this is kind of sort of buying, selling stuff, right?
Yeah, you could substitute with a merchant if you want. Otherwise,
Well,
you can.
no, I'm just gonna put the +1 because I actually have merchant, so I can always get that.
Sure.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoops, that's wrong. That's gonna be a 9, not an 11. So also poor.
Yeah. So
We're
he
not doing
says,
great today.
he says they have chores. It's okay. I'll be back. He will disappear inside, and then he'll come out with what do they call it? I think it's a clutch of arrows or something like that. Bundle of arrows. A whole
I
bunch.
think it's a bundle.
And they're all sort of bound together. So there's quite a number there that he has. He will come out. He says, there is nothing fancy. They're just standard hunting arrows. You'll see that they are all broadheads. There's no bodkins
God damn it.
amongst them.
Sheaf? Sheaf of arrows.
Oh well, so I guess I'll buy the arrows he has. How many are there?
Oh, there's a whole bunch, a lot more than you can certainly afford.
Okay. So
He will he'll
how much
untie
will
he'll go to a bench. He will make room on the bench where he had all his tanning equipment. He'll undo the bundle and he'll say, take your pick. How many is it you're after?
how many do you want for an arrow?
Poor. I think that is price plus 10%.
Sorry, how much?
So fair price plus 10%.
Mm,
So that would be 2.1 per.
okay. Well, I'll take 10 and then I'll shave off the 0.1s from the money I have. Let me just do a quick maths.
So that would be 12.
11.
It'll be 12. If you get 10 arrows,
Yep.
oh, sorry, you
12
get
PS.
$10 worth of arrows or 10
No, no,
arrows?
no. You're right. 10 arrows, so it's 12. I'll give the 20 copper that I got and plus 2 because screw it.
Well, he'll take the money and he'll say, well, this is too much. He will just grab a handful of extra arrows. So he'll grab an extra 4 arrows and he'll hand those arrows to you.
Wow, that's very nice of you. That's going to be very useful. Thank you.
Well, you did pay for them.
True.
Where are you going to
Unless,
put
of course, you're expecting change.
No. That's absolutely fine. That's great.
He will look at Gareth and says, Sir, we don't have many knights come through Stillwater.
Oh, I'm no knight.
Oh, my apologies. I thought so by what you wear.
Well, you haven't got
yes.
shit all over you.
Could you direct us to where we would find someone who sells quarterstaffs?
He says, the blacksmith may be able to service you with a quarterstaff, or the town carpenter may be able to help. But I would suggest the blacksmith first.
Very good. Many thanks.
I
He will
would
be
ask.
pocketing the coin and he'll say, no, thank you, as he does up his bundle of arrows.
I would ask.
Right.
Have a great day.
He says, so you're new in town, passing through, hey?
Indeed, escorting the. Crap! I forgot their name. Escorting the Order of the Pale Flame.
Oh. He says, why didn't you say so? He will take out the coin and he will hand back half of that. He'll hand you back 10 copper.
Oh wow. Thank you. That's going to be very useful on our journey.
Well, damn it, that didn't work for me.
Yeah, it didn't. It's because we weren't trying to make it work like that. See what happens when, you do the right thing?
I would like to find a herbalist of some sort.
We will get to Danjo in just one second. So he looks at Gareth. He says, you're quite a strong lad. I'm thinking
Who were?
You'll perhaps have a run-in with Mella, and he sort of chuckles. Says
I
he
do
gives
not
you a
get
wink.
the reference.
He gives you a wink. He says something of a Stillwater tradition. I'm sure you'll find out. And he'll sort of do up his bundle of arrows, and unless there's something else, he'll sort of bid you farewell.
Nope. Go get the
Thank you.
quarterstaff.
Yep, let's go.
Okay, you will arrive at the blacksmith. Since I've introduced the blacksmith, there's no need to reintroduce him. You are after a quarterstaff. You can
I
give
am,
me
yes.
a reaction roll. This will determine the. You can make a merchant roll for a good reaction if you like, as well.
And Ronnke, since you're at it, can I have a look to see if he has bodkins? Maybe he has bodkins laying about. I don't know.
Well, you'll see that there's a basket that has a whole bunch of arrows that are, sticking in or sticking out of it.
I'll
Good reaction.
have a look.
So good reaction gives you fair price plus discount of 10%.
Oh, sweet.
So he will tell you. Well, he will say, "Seems a busy day. A whole bunch of new faces today." And he will point out that he does have some shafts that could fashion into a proper quarterstaff. And he also will. Do you guys hear a bird in the background?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but that's fine.
Damn it.
Yeah, it's part of the part of Stillwater. There's a bird flying around.
Yep.
I can fashion that into a staff. He will give you the price, so whatever the fair price less 10% discount is.
9.
And he will have some bodkins, though he tells you not many. It's not something that there's a great deal of call for in town.
How many does he have?
Roll, say 3d6.
That's a good number.
There's a nice round number of 10.
Yep. So I'll get them as well.
Okay, so that will be 8 copper pieces for 10.
I think it's 18, no? Because it's 2p
Sorry.
each.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that. Awesome.
Now I just have to figure out how to use this stupid thing.
So you're interested in the staff?
I am,
think.
yes. I will definitely give him the money.
All right. You have the money for a staff?
I do.
Okay. He says, well, if you just hold a moment, I shall give it a leather binding, and you'll see that he'll sort of weigh the staff. You'll find its sort of center, and he grabs some leather, slaps a little bit of glue, and then will bind a sort of leather hand grip at the middle of the staff. Stitch it up. It takes him maybe 15 minutes, half an hour while you wait. He says, give it some time for the glue to dry, or the glue to cure. It will be a serviceable weapon by the morrow.
Excellent. Many thanks.
He'll also give it a dose of oil that he sort of rubs into it. He'll take your coin.
Outstanding. Well, I got my stick.
Okay, Danjo, you're going to look for a herbalist.
Indeed.
Herbalist is not something that would be in every town. Let's get you to roll on this table. Roll on that table there.
Some uncommon items may be advised.
Yeah, I think
Alright,
that's
so-
the wrong table for that.
I want some sort of herbs that I could make into like a soporific to put people to sleep. Of course, when I'm asking for these things, I'm asking in a way that hints that I'm using it for first aid.
Right.
So you mean...
Classified under sneaky ninja shit.
Alright, so you're
Indeed.
looking for something... The intent is to, drug someone to sleep.
Or
Are you looking
make their...
Are you looking for something fast acting? Like, blow it in their face and they go, and fall asleep? Or you drug them and basically roofie them to sleep?
I'm hoping to use it on in my blowpipe, but using the dart. But I can also use it, as backup for first aid or something.
Is that actually in
Okay.
the DF Ninja book?
They've got poisons in Ninja. They've got blinding gas, mind fog, but I was hoping for some form of soporific, even if it just dulls them a small amount to make them easier to attack.
Okay. You are given the location of a woman that has a bunch of spices. Not quite like a herbalist that you're looking for, but she, has spices and stuff that she grows in a garden. Unfortunately, when you go and speak to her, she will have things that will help you sleep. So, standard herbal remedies for, helping sleep, but nothing that's going to knock anyone out. Not in the sense that you're after.
I'm not entirely after putting them totally to sleep. I want to dull their minds or something.
Well, she'll have things like that, but it's not fast acting. It's something you make it into a tea and drink it, and it'll help you sleep that night. She has that sort of thing.
Well, it's a start
No.
anyway. I have poison skills, so I can make stuff up.
Okay, give me a roll on your poisons. If you roll successfully, then we'll say that she has the ingredients that you could process to be something more potent.
Come on, baby, roll. Failure by one.
Do you have luck?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has luck other than Boya.
All right. So unfortunately, nothing that you can refine, but she does have things that'll, put people to sleep. But it's not fast acting. You give it to someone, and then maybe 15 minutes, half an hour later, they'll get drowsy and sleepy.
Well, it's a start anyway.
Okay. You've got 20 copper pieces. If you can find something in the books that's roughly close, you can get some doses
That's the hard part.
of that. Well, let's do it like this. Give me 3d6. This is how many doses you'll be able to. Sorry, not the doses. This is how much a dose will cost. All right, so 8 copper pieces. She'll charge for the dose. If you have merchant, you can make a reaction roll to get a good reaction. Oh, I should have also allowed merchant roll for bartering if you wanted to barter.
I have
Those
no
of you that-
merchant skill.
All right, so give me a straight up reaction roll.
Am I literally the only PC that has merchant?
Well,
We should always hang with you then in towns.
I'm not a great merchant. I've only got it at 10.
Just
well,
like
you
in
have
Glorious
Alright, so-
Bastards. Just like in Glorious Bastards, that makes you the best merchant in the group.
Buongiorno.
Okay, so she has doses for 8 copper pieces, plus 10%. So, and it'll round to the nearest, of course.
That's 9 copper pieces each.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll spend a little bit. I'll get 2 doses, I guess.
Okay. She'll, get a small bit of cloth. She'll pour out some of these leaves, which she then sort of crushes and grinds into sort of tea leaves. And then she'll pour that into the cloth and then tie it up in a small bundle, handing it to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope that it will help you sleep.
It's not for me,
She
it's
says,
for others.
Well, tell them it's best to take it with some food, otherwise it can be a little bit harsh on the stomach.
Thank you very much.
All right, well, you leave her place, which was a her own home that had a very nice smell of the various spices and so forth that she stocked. Is there anything anyone else is going to be doing during the day? Otherwise, we shall wind the clock forward till the evening.
I think I'm good.
Definitely getting a bath of some sort. Probably in the river, which might be very cold.
It's dawn rise, so That is the spring. So it's a little bit chilly. Refreshing, we'll say.
There you go.
So if you have personal basics, then you have a little bit of soap that you can use to clean yourself up. If you don't have personal basics on your character sheet, you'll have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Well, this is tech level 3. It's all old-fashioned.
So Danjo, Gareth, you'll be able to bathe, or anyone that wants to have a bath will bathe themselves.
Yeah, I'll join them. I'll join them as well.
And
Then meet up with the other people.
all right. On your way back from your baths, you have, your clothes with you. You're probably drip drying a little bit. Kivvan, you'll notice it first, but one of the buildings in this place, which seems to be like a warehouse, a storehouse, it has a sign. Kivvan, I assume you're literate.
Mm-hmm.
You will notice a sign that says Veteran Mercantile. The place is. Sorry for the dog.
It's ambient. There's a dog in Stillwater
in
barking.
the street, of course.
Yep.
So you'll notice Veteran Mercantile, the warehouse is locked up. It doesn't seem like it's been used for a little while. The signs had a little bit of weathering, but the thing that really catches your eye is there is a sigil which surprisingly matches that on the ring that you have in your pocket.
Dun dun dun.
Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose at the point Kivvan notices this, he will try to grab somebody nearby and ask him what the hell that place is.
So everyone else that is taking the bath with Kivvan will also notice that
Phrasing.
Kivvan.
Yeah, Kivvan wasn't a part of that.
He's stinky.
Oh,
He's
sorry.
the only stinky one.
So that's sorry. Rewind.
He could have
Kivvan.
noticed it while he was going to go get his drinks.
He was going
that's
to
when
look for them and heard they were down by the river.
Well, that makes sense. At some point, Kivvan, you will notice that, and you'll grab someone off the street. They'll say, "Oh, that place it hasn't sold anything in years. I'm not sure what happened to it."
Whose place is it? Who owns it?
I don't know the owner, but it was run by a gentleman, and he will rattle off a name.
And he has to look for his cue card to find out what it was.
He says it was a dwarf. Went by the name of Brogan.
And nothing's been done here in years, you say?
Well, since the trade traffic has petered off, no. But they used to sell a number of things there, yes. It's been closed for a while. A year or more.
Interesting.
And now Kevin wants to break in.
A little. Wonder if I could get about 50 coppers out of that. We have not seen Danjo doing anything roguely. So we don't know that he does that sort of thing.
So does Danjo
Let's
get
see
around
if-
with his pajamas? Does he wear his mask all the time?
No, but the pajamas can flip inside out, look like normal colour instead of just black.
So by the look of you, the party might infer something, unless Danjo has been a little more forthright about his abilities.
Ninja secrecy.
Yeah, he's got disads that prevent him from telling anybody. Yeah.
Yes. So as far as we know, he's just a dude.
That likes loose hanging clothes
Mm-hmm.
and the colour black.
Well, like you
Nothing wrong
said,
with
you
that.
probably have it flipped around to it looks like normal clothes.
Yeah,
All right,
anyway.
there, Kevin, you can break in. We know you want to.
Well, Kevin is going to move on. He's thinking about what he wants to do about that. He may get curious later, or he may get drunk and then curious later.
Okay. And since you weren't together, those of you that are coming back from having a bath will at some later stage note the same thing. Though not all, I don't think all of you succeeded your roll.
Well, if one of them does, the rest of them tend to follow.
No, actually you all succeeded. So yeah, at some point
Yeah.
you'll be wandering back and you'll notice that there's that Vethran Mercantile.
And we will have to do the same thing, ask about it.
Yep.
They grab the
And I
same
think it'll be
person.
really funny if the person we ask is the same person that Kevin asked. So that dude's going, why is everybody so interested in this place now?
Indeed, that's exactly what happens. You grab the same person, and he'll actually say, "It's a second one today." He'll say,
Second,
"Yeah."
what did the first one look like?
I'll say, "Big guy, wore a white hood. Not a local."
Okay.
He describes Kivvan.
So I'm going to say that this fellow is like selling apples out of a little thing. So I will totally buy an apple or a couple apples from him for a copper piece.
Sure. He'll gladly take your copper, and you pick a couple of nice ripe apples.
I kind of want an apple right now. Damn it.
At least we're not talking about Brazilian steak restaurants again.
Oh my God, yes. Ugh, yeah. Leave it at Sam.
Stop it.
Meat sweats.
God damn it.
All right. Get back to the inn. And I think the first thing Gareth is going to say once everybody's together, probably with the Pale Flame people, is, hey, there's a warehouse that has that symbol on it. It's all closed up now.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about breaking in.
What? Why would you do that? That's against the law. Wait, why am I saying that?
So, are you saying this
Yeah.
with the other Pale Flame members around?
Yeah, I have no reason to necessarily hide that.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin.
And they'd probably want to know.
Off anyway.
They saw the symbol too.
Rolf will sort of, well, actually, most of the Pale Flame members will sort of turn to Kevin, and Rolf will be the one that actually says it. So it says, "You'll do no such thing."
Apparently, I'll
Of
do no
course you
such
won't.
thing.
Thievery
But I was thinking about it.
is far from an activity the Pale Flame conducts as one could get.
And Agalia is the goddess of law. She doesn't approve either. And as he's saying that, he's totally rubbing his gloved hand.
But
Yeah,
Rolf
you're not
does
really
say,
selling it to me yet.
Rolf does say that does certainly bring up the question of what this Vethran place is. Perhaps
They
we can
called it
investigate.
mercantile. But the person I talked to said it was run by a dwarf. Brogan.
Sounded like you're trying to burp there.
Henceforth, always referred to as Bro.
Brogan.
So you would know that you've probably met dwarves in your time. You would know that the ring that this, or the hand that this ring was fashioned for, is not one that belongs to a dwarf's thick, stumpy fingers.
Although the axe on the symbol does lend a dwarvish air. Suppose we could ask around.
Sure. We can take some time. I am curious as to why this ring ended in our possession, and now I'm even more curious as to why we see that sigil is in town.
All right, so let's start asking around.
But apparently,
we're in an inn.
Apparently this evening we are to participate in something called the long table.
The long table. I like where this is going, I think.
Aldrich, he says, I asked and questioned what it was, but they said we would find out. I'm curious, but they said it's nothing to be alarmed about. Something they do for for guests. And he'll sort of shrug.
Yep, whole town's gonna go feral.
I surely hope it involves a lot of alcohol.
So unless you do anything in particular, are people going to be asking around, or will you sort of just wait to see what happens
Well,
in the evening?
unfortunately, our best asker arounder is currently an NPC, and he's standing over in the corner staring in the
Mhm.
distance.
Swaying back and
Yeah.
fro.
Or more likely, he's passed out in the common room because, well, he is unfit.
Food coma.
and Food
Mhm.
coma plus the long road, long marches.
All right, so towards the uh, the falling, or late in the falling, which is afternoon in Pelivar, you'll see that the innkeep is beginning to organize all the tables and chairs into one long table. Kind of, similar to that of a courtly feast hall or something like that. And there is sort of wine. There's some fruits and a bit of a spread of bread and cheese and stuff like that laid out. If any of you go to help yourselves early, you are shooed away and told, you'll wait. So, yeah, wine flasks are brought out, placed on the table, and goblets are placed, and the table is basically arranged. You will also see some of the townsfolk or patrons will be entering, and will be sort of standing around, chatting, mingling, talking about their day. You also see other guests in the inn will sort of come down and will sort of stand around. The other guests are a little bit curious as to what's going on.
How many people are present right now?
We'll say that there's a little over a dozen at the moment.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
the way the table is set out, it could, host 20 to 30 people.
I'm starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, so I
Mhm.
think I'll just, get to a corner and, yeah, or like to the edge of the table if people are sitting already.
Well, no one's really taking a seat. They're just sort of standing around talking.
Yeah, I'll just stand in a corner.
But you can take a seat if you want, but you are instructed not to touch anything.
No, I'm not going to be the first one to sit.
Well, by this point, Kivvan has had his hand smacked 2 or 3 times trying to go for some wine. But he will start asking anybody who happens to be standing around. So you know about this veteran place? What the hell's up with that?
Give us a reaction roll or an influence roll.
Yeah, this is not his thing.
given the situation, I'm going to give you a situational bonus of +2 since this is a sort of festive
guy.
friendly environment.
Fair enough. Let's see how we do this time. Holy crap.
Oh wow.
Wow, excellent.
Very good reaction.
Not sure how to make that.
All right, so people will be quite happy to talk. And is there any particular information that you're trying to learn? Because you'll learn the basics. That is a mercantile place that closed over a year ago when business started to get slim. With that sort of reaction, you will also learn that the place is owned, or the owner of the place was a Lord Caro Vethran.
Ah, there we go.
Who you believe, or that people tell you, that he was someone important in Ashford. Whether he's still there or not, no one can really tell. Some people say, there's rumors. You'll have one person say, I heard that he was captured by the raiders, and someone will say, no, that's not true. I was in Ashford a couple of years ago, and he was there, and you'll hear contradicting stories, and you're pretty sure they're just your standard rumors that whether there's truth in them or not, you don't know. But what you do learn is that he's someone of importance in Ashford, and he had a mercantile company. Apparently, he's he made his fortune buying and selling, trading in Ashford. But news of him is old. No one knows anything current.
So, first off, I figure how this probably started was Kevin does his usual routine of buy a drink for an old war veteran, and happened to find somebody who was actually thought that was a cool thing and started talking. But what he's fishing for, as far as information here, is more details about the guy. So now that we got a name, he's going to ask stuff like, well, what kind of family was he from? Is it a big family? Do you have kids? How's the business? That sort of thing. So he's looking to see if the player's expectation here is that something probably happened to the family or happened to the guy, and somebody's trying to quote unquote inherit or something.
Okay, so you do learn some things. He is considered old money, so the Vethran family have been around in the Western Marches for a while. So they are sort of an established family name. The rumors are that he has, suffered really hard times, perhaps gone broke, was unable to, upkeep his estate and so forth, due to, a combination of, the Western Marches have been raided, and the towns and settlements there have diminished to the point that it's just Ashford that remains. And with the lack of trade that would normally go east to west from the other free cities, things just went downhill for the family, and they've fallen on hard times. There are rumours that he did have a family, but they were perhaps captured and taken by raiders.
Okay, so the consensus is something did befall the family.
Yes. There's been no recent news. And of course, the Brojan, the dwarf,
Right.
was running the store, or the general store here in Stillwater.
Okay.
But he was not the owner. He was running it on behalf of Lord Caro Vethrin.
Any word on what happened to him?
When
he's still around.
No, when the place closed, he went west to return to his family in the mountains there.
Okay.
He will say, with a very good reaction, you're definitely going to get you're going to get information that says that apparently Brojan came from Dunhold, and he spoke of Dunhold a lot.
Okay. Is there a connection there that I'm not remembering?
No connection. No
Not
particular
yet, anyway.
connection.
Note for later.
But yes, so Brojan returned home, heading west to go to Dunhold. And Dunhold is in the north part of the Western Marches, on the western side of the range, which is called the... Oh, damn it. I think it's called the Seven Peak Ranges.
Ah. Well, so at this point, how many drinks would you say Kivvan has been bought?
Okay, so Kivvan would have been given at least 2 drinks that he's been bought. However, the main event is, or the long table. You see more people gather, and eventually, the place fills up, and you will learn that it is a local custom when there are a number of travellers or people of importance come to town, and they hold a sort of social event called the Long Table. This custom requires that every traveller will contribute either a copper coin, a piece of news, or a story for the evening. And as part of that tradition, the wine is free, and and the meal is put on by the inn, and where the money comes from, you assume there's a collection of copper coins from those people that contribute a coin or whatever. But that's not going to cover the cost of this feast. So where the money comes from, you're not sure, but it's a thing that is done. And I guess Humphrey will set the tone with some music. He'll play, and a feast is had. If you are going to contribute some coin, deduct it off your sheet. So the first thing that sort of comes up at the table, and there's a whole bunch of strange faces, townsfolk, that you are not familiar with. There is a number of questions that sort of come up. They're questions like, where you've come from. Things like, what's the most dangerous thing you've ever faced? There's, questions like, do you think Ashford is truly preparing for war? And there's also questions of, why armed adventurers are traveling with priests or mendicants, as Humphrey put it. So those questions will come up, but we'll handle each person separately. Who would like to go first?
That's a really great question.
I think you need the who gets killed table.
All right, I shall roll off the who gets killed table.
Well, I don't have to compulsively carouse.
Yes, if you do have that, you will have to roll. And I guess Kivvan, given the type of event this is, how much you restrict yourself, or promise that was not a promise to Rolf, how much you drink is up to yourself. I don't know if it requires a self-control roll.
So the deal with alcoholism is, in mechanical terms, if it's available, he has to partake, and he has to make a roll to avoid binging. Well, in this case, the binging is kind of a part of the scene here, so I'm expecting that I'm not even going to bother rolling. He'll just indulge. But what's really important here is, does anybody stop him?
All right, so Kivvan.
Me first, huh?
Okay, so the tradition is you contribute a copper coin, a piece of news, or a story.
Okay, well, yeah, the GM didn't warn us about this ahead of time, so we're all going to have to wing it.
That's
got
the
planned.
best.
Yeah. So Kivvan's had some drink in him. He's getting loose. So he'll tell a story about a particular incident after the Battle of Crownsford, where they were looting a village, not unlike this one, and he and the boys were kicking in doors and seeing what was there. These were all bad people, so obviously not like these folks, good folks here. And so the lead guy, buddy of his, goes to kick in the door, and the door flies open and bounces right back and closes. It's like, what the hell was that about? So he goes, it kicks it again. The door flies open and bounces right back. And he does it a couple more times before they finally just kind of push through and realize there was a woman standing behind the door, and it kept bouncing off of her, and everybody laughed about it.
A voice will call out, so what happened to her?
I don't remember. That day was kind of a blur after that. Yeah. Rigel knows where I got that story.
All right. Some drinks are had, some more wine pours. There's some laughs and jokes that are told. You'll see that, or during this, Rolf is initially, he refuses to speak, but calls from the crowd. Come on, you can tell us a story. You must have stories from many years, and eventually he gives in to the peer pressure reluctantly, but he eventually will tell a fairly dry but surprisingly funny story about a mule at the order that had managed to learn how to untie knots, and the mule would always be, he'd be stabled, learn how to untie knots, and he'd wander off and would eventually come back to for meals and stuff like that. Okay. Next will be not Kivvan again.
Nope, he's got to tell another story.
Unfortunately, Humphrey can't tell a story.
So he does.
But I'm
He
sure
breaks down the house.
Humphrey will he will
Does he have public
give
speaking?
a coin. He'll give a coin instead of telling a story, but he'll offer to play a song, which he'll sort of stand up, go grab his lute, and will begin to tune it, and then strum out a ballad of some sort.
Jane.
Okay. All right. Next is Ari.
Yeah, initially he thought about contributing to the coin, but then he felt, it would be rude to these people. So he decides to tell a story about the Long Dark. It's a part of his people's legends. So um, he tells people that in the beginning, the his people would be able to talk to the creatures and live in harmony with nature. They would talk with the deer. They will hear the stories of the river and the trees, and they would they'll be in peace, in general peace with each other. But then there was the long night, and the Aba Vatu people got scared. They built a hut and lit a fire, and they entered this hut, waiting for the long night to end. but it took a long, long, long time. When they finally came out, the fox tried to talk to them, but they couldn't understand. The river tried to talk to them. They also wouldn't understand. So they despaired. They cried because they would no longer be able to communicate with his friends and with nature. And from that day on, uh, the Votuaba people could only um, hear the noises made by the animals. They would no longer be able to communicate, and they mourned this ever since.
You will have people sort of say, great story. I'd like to hear more at some point.
Clap,
And
clap, clap.
Petra will sort of, elbow Kivvan. She's sat beside Kivvan. She'll elbow Kivvan and she'll say, is that true? Or is he
I have
just
no
telling
idea.
a tall tale?
I only just met him 2 days ago.
Sister Marin. She will speak, in a very sort of, she'll give a formal account of a winter, or not winter, a deep still pilgrimage that the pale flame undertook. And in her telling of this story, she reveals a warmth of character that she hasn't really, or you haven't previously seen. Hey, so next will be Danjo.
Stand up on a chair and I state, this is a story from my homeland of Hinodic Nokuni, the land of the sunrise. It is a story of a great warrior of the past and of his powers to defeat anything. It is the story of Mamataro.
It's going to be a long story, isn't it?
Mamotaro was born from a giant peach, which was floating down a river by an old Chinese childless woman who was washing clothes there. The woman and her husband discovered the child when they tried to open the peach to eat it. The child explained that he had been bestowed by the gods to be their son. The couple named him Mamotaro, from peach, and Taro, their eldest son. When he was just 5 years old, he was able to cut a big tree with just an old knife. He spent most of his days sleeping and lazy, but when he matured into adolescence, Mamataro left his parents to fight a band of Oni who marauded over their land by seeking them out in the distant island where they dwelled, a place called Onigashima. En route, Mamataro met and befriended a talking dog, a monkey, and a pheasant who agreed to help him in his quest in exchange for a portion of his rations. At the island, Mamataro and his animal friends penetrated the demon's fort and beat the band of demons into surrendering. Mamataro and his new friends returned home with the demon's plundered treasure and the demon chief as a captive, and everyone lived long and prospered. And he waits for a response.
Well, there will be claps and cheers from people there. Great story. And again, Petra will sort of elbow Kivvan. What about that one? Is that true? or is it just a story?
I haven't known him that long either.
She will sort of sigh and goes, you're no use at all.
My
But
mom
it is
said that.
true, Petra-chan. My mother taught me, and her mother taught her, and her great-grandmother and grandmother and so on passed it all on. It is a great story from history.
She sort of closes one eye and gives you that that the meme of the the little kid, and she says, "Are you sure the someone being born from a peach sounds a little bit made up?"
He was a gift from the gods, from the kami.
And she'll say, "But I've not heard of any of the kami. I've only
You call
learned
them
of
gods.
Solvrith, Stara," and she'll rattle off a couple. "And I've not heard of any of your gods." And she points to Gareth, and she says, "And I only learnt that Gareth follows a god, Agelia." And with that point, you'll have like a whole table of people turn their head to Gareth.
The gods are present in all things, in nature, in the air, in the ground, in the water. This is what is called kami.
It's also called the Force.
Strong in the kami, are you?
I wonder if there's a god at the bottom of this tankard. I'll find it.
You drink from it often enough and there'll be kami in it.
So, with everyone's heads turning towards Gareth, someone will say, "So what's your story?"
All right. He will rise. I'm going to make a check to see how poorly he tells this. Very poorly.
Oh my God.
Oh, critical failure by 11.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know what he's
is-
doing when it comes to public speaking.
Actually, no, you don't have luck on this one.
Oh, right. He's defaulting that.
I am defaulting that, yeah. But he
Well, there
will
you
start
go.
out. Actually, this critical failure will work out nicely because he's probably going to accidentally reveal a couple of things that several of the other characters, especially the NPCs, will pick up. But he will start with 4 years ago I was at Eastwatch when High Lord Cohen of House Gamalin attacked, intending to conquer the free cities, and there I beheld Agelia, the silent protectress, as she descended from heaven to charge me with bringing word of her glory to the free cities. And then he is going to go on weird tangents, apparently based off of the critical failure. But one of the things I think is going to happen there is at least Deacon Rolf and possibly Sister Marin will be able to sort of piece together. It's like, wait, he was at Eastwatch, and that was where the that monastery with the Forlorn Hope guys were. So they're definitely going to probably be aware that he is technically got that social stigma criminal.
Okay.
Yeah, he tries to tell it, but it's not very well said.
The response that you get from people. Is there's some whispers from like, one person
Man, this guy's
to the
crazy.
next. So there'll be some whispers, and the applause and the cheers are a little bit more subdued than with others. But that is.
I can totally see him when he sits down. Kevin leans over and says, "You needed more talking animals in your story."
Exactly. That seems to go over really well.
Petra will sort of elbow Kivvan again, and he says, this time she says, "I think that was true."
I think I agree with you, lass. These bunch we're traveling with have are full of surprises, are they not?
She nods, and she will admit that this mission has been something of an eye opener to her. She will then begin to tell a story of when the mission first left Ardain, and how she was fortunate to be picked to go with the mission, and she'll tell the story, with wide-eyed enthusiasm about all the things that she was seeing, which are for the common folk are probably fairly mundane, but someone exploring this stuff for the first time, she's really eager. She'll tell the story of how they boarded a ship from Ardain and went to Galvorn. She'll tell about some of the things that happened on the ship, and there's things of the crew. Some of the crew reported that they saw mermaids. She looked, but she couldn't see what they were looking at. She doesn't know whether that's true or not. And then she tells the story about Galvorn, and she then sort of starts to talk about how they left Galvorn, and then with that, she just sort of the excitement sort of comes out of her face as she's obviously arriving at the point where they were attacked. And she then just sort of sits down and says, "Oh, that's all I've got to say." The evening will go on, and surprisingly, Aldrich seems to be excellent company. This guy has got social etiquette down pat. He will tell an engaging story, and he's actually, he says before he tells his story, he says, "I need to grab something," and he goes and grabs his book, and he'll sort of flip, he'll push his glasses up on his head and he'll flip through the book, and he says, "This is it," and he'll tell a thoroughly entertaining story. One of the things that you sort of notice when Aldrich speaks, he will include some of the villagers in his story. He'll say, this guy that looked a lot like you, and he'll remember the villagers' names. So he seems to have a knack for remembering names. So he'll be including in his story you know, links to the villages, and he just sort of drags them into this story. And people are thoroughly engaged. He is something of the life of the party, MVP of the event sort of thing. There'll be lots of excited people and engaged people. They'll be asking questions. All of you notice though that he has some questions will sort of arise about the mission and whatnot, but he seems to have a subtle knack of redirecting those difficult questions away from the mission, and basically steer people's attention elsewhere, and no one's the wiser of it. But since you guys are actually part of the mission and such, you will pick up on this.
Less useless than we initially thought then.
So there is one. The evening will sort of go on, and the 1 second. The one of the villagers will sort of turn to this woman.
Important character. Who has been named previously.
She's making all those people wait in the back. That's rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's clearly not paying attention.
Someone will sort of look to this woman, and while looking to her, I'll say, we have something else of a local tradition. Mella here is our town cooper, and she will take any challenger to a wrestling match. She is our village champion. And she will sort of stand up and give a bit of a bow, and then sort of sit. And the guy that's been saying this, let's look over to the bigger, stronger people of your group, and we'll say, will any of you care to take Mella up on a challenge, a wrestling match?
I give a slight smile and raise a toast to her, and that's it. I know my limits.
Yeah, Kivvan is gonna elbow Gareth, make him jump.
So
Let's see.
does anyone have Well, okay. So she will then, reach down to the floor beside her and pull up something and then put it down on the table. And it is a carved wooden fish. She says, "This is the Stillwater Leviathan. The winner takes this. But if you win it, you are expected to return someday to defend your title." And someone will say, "Mella has never been beaten." So Gareth, you will put your hand up. She will sort of lock eyes.
I think it's probably going to be more like Giger said. Yeah, he's going to show, like give him an elbow, and that's going to make me look like I was, responding.
Well,
so
okay.
Then I'm stuck with it.
That peer pressure sets in as everyone says, "Yes, we have a challenger," and people will sort of the table sort of shifted to make extra room. The innkeep goes behind the into the kitchen and comes out with a bag and begins to draw a circle on the floor with flour. You are instructed. The rules are simple. No weapons, no deliberate injury. The first person pushed from the circle or held down for 3 breaths loses. Any magic is forbidden unless both competitors agree. So Mella will take her fish and she'll give it to Ari, who gave her a toast. She says, "Hold this for me." So she hands you the great Stillwater Leviathan trophy.
And I grab it very ceremoniously.
And she will then step into the circle. She'll pat her hands into the flour and sort of flour them up a little bit and smile with a confidence that might make Gareth a little bit intimidated. She's a large woman.
Danjo sits up and watches this intently.
Right.
All right, so we shall just. This is just going to be wrestling rolls.
Fight well, brother.
Yeah. Let me put her.
Suppose we're going to end up needing to know what her strength is.
Okay.
Gareth is 14, isn't he?
Yes.
I think you're the strongest, right?
I think he's the strongest PC. Yeah.
Strongest of us.
Yeah.
So I think the best way to handle this is something that we don't get to do often. We could certainly do it via, what is it, technical grappling. But I think we should do regular contests of strength or wrestling.
I think you
And
can
the
do
way
that
that,
too.
yeah, we don't get to do regular contests at all, or very rarely, if ever.
Have we ever?
So, yeah, I struggle to remember a time. But the way that works is you basically roll your strength or wrestling until there is an actual failure. There's no margin of success or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
To do this properly, they both need to be wearing nappies.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work here.
Yeah.
It is moderately
no nappies
amusing,
this one.
though, that Gareth doesn't have wrestling. Gareth has sumo wrestling.
Which is actually appropriate here.
Yep. Right.
Okay. So this will just be simple contests. I guess we shall do each round as being a sort of 10-second turn, where you're struggling and trying to get the better of one another.
Okay. So I just make a wrestling roll.
Wrestling or strength, whichever you wish.
Same result.
All right.
Success by 2.
I think I'll share my rolls here. That'll make it easier. Show GM rolls. There we go. Well, that's yours. So she succeeds. You're probably getting the better of her, but at the moment you're basically just grappling each other. You get the sort of upper hand and some momentum, and then she'll reject your attempts, and the bout goes on. At this point, you will realize that she's strong, maybe even as strong as you.
Well, you can tell that by her arms.
Obviously, it's all those carrying of barrels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next
That
roll.
does seem to help.
You can go first.
By 4.
She will roll. She'll succeed by 7. And you will continue. This round sort of goes to the floor, and the two of you are at the floor, and through all that wrestling, she will, as you're sort of down on the ground, locked in each other's sort of grip, she will give Gareth a big kiss on the cheek. Does that distract Gareth at all?
I am looking. Probably not.
Okay.
Because he is stubborn.
So he's not chased or anything like that.
Nope.
All right.
Maybe
so
later. He was
no
abandoned,
penalties or anything.
remember?
No penalties or anything from being distracted, and the bout goes on. You may roll your next attempt. At this point, people are cheering, and this is a
Just by
thoroughly
two.
enjoyable event. Well, in this case, you just need to succeed. Oh, damn it. So, you will beat... Well, actually, why did that roll not show?
I don't think the last one did either.
Yeah.
Did I not check that? Chat. Show GM rolls on.
You didn't accidentally hit control or something like that while you threw it, did you?
No, I didn't. Oh, that's weird. All right, well, you defeat her. Describe how you will win your victory here.
All right. So she thought she had me, wrapped up. But based off of that, Gareth is slightly stronger than she is. So he just stood up with her, like holding on to him, and just staggered to the edge of the thing and dropped her outside the ring.
So there will be a combination of cheers and, oh, damn it.
And then he'll help her stand back up.
She is a very sort of graceful loser. She will shake Gareth's hand and says, well, that's something I don't get to be a part of very often. I have not lost in years. She'll give you a nod, and then she will sort of lift you up and say, Stillwater has a new champion. And she actually lifts you off the ground and holds you up in the air.
And this is where Kivvan's gonna do we need to go to the village where you're the hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least once or twice during that, Kivvan ends up covering up Petra's eyes because they're doing naughty things over there.
She will,
or not.
She will pull your hand away and...
Oh, you don't need to see that.
Will sort of want to be looking. She objects to not seeing the fight. And you can see, while she's not doing it out loud, you can see that she seems to be rooting for Mella to beat Gareth. Beat Gareth.
Gareth is probably going to end up having to mention to Mella that he's not sure about the oath to come back because we are riding into danger, so it may be wiser to leave that here.
That's not how it works. She'll take the fish statue off Ari, and then she will hand it to Gareth. She says, "This is yours now, and trust its care to you." And
where's our CG image of the statue? Come on, GM.
Damn it!
Once again.
He wasn't expecting us to win it, I guess. That's why.
Well, the odds were kind of in your favor. You had one strength higher than her.
But I didn't use strength. I used my skill, which was 1 point higher. But
So
at the same
she
time,
will,
I've rolled 2 critical failures today. So
she will sort of thrust it into your chest, expecting you to take it. She says, "Well, consider it an incentive to live long and return. Stillwater expects their champion back."
Agalia Volt.
And then she sort of, nudges in close, and she says, "Don't worry, we have more of them if we need it."
And Gareth
Rematch!
is going to literally chuckle at that. Then I shall honor this in the spirit it was earned.
There are cheers and claps from people, and goblets are raised, and I guess some people will say, "Speech, speech."
Now remember, lass,
And
don't
I
give
think-
another man your fish unless you know that he's worthy of it.
Well, I was just going to say, it's like they're saying speech, speech. Gareth is probably he's likely thinking, after how badly I butchered the previous one,
That seems to fall on deaf ears. People say, "Speech."
I shall keep it short. I have a fish statue. And he holds it really high.
People are sort of waiting to clap, and you'll hear someone say, "Is that it?" And
There is
with
ale
nothing,
and wine to drink.
with that,
And you
that
look
is
thirsty.
that is cue enough for people to clap and cheer, and then people, will return to their tables, and the night will go on.
We are expecting a fish statue image at the next session.
Mm-hmm.
Can't believe the GM forgot about our fish statue.
Unless he cheeses it and AIs it while we're talking.
And Rocky's like, I would never click, do that. Click.
Click, click, click. So the night will go on. Is there anything that anyone is doing in particular during this time, or are you just going to enjoy the festivities? And more importantly, how much drinking is Kivvan going to do? Is he going to get wasted, or
As
is he going to
previously
try
mentioned,
restraint?
he will. He's not. He has no intention of restraint at this point. It's somebody else is going to have to restrain him. Yeah. How many hours would you say this whole thing is gone?
Oh, it's good 3 hours, 4 hours.
Okay.
Before
figuring
people
it.
sort of start wrapping up and going home.
I'm not sure what
we have to
drinking
do
a
a
lot
lot more
is.
than that. I have to, say, Humphrey, we need dancing music.
All right, he's tipsy. But we're not drunk.
Right in the proper zone now, then.
Exactly. Not quite stumbly yet, but definitely not perfectly upright.
Okay, so that's per drink
No, that is
over
over
the course of.
so it's -1 for over 3 drinks in an hour. In his case, that's his threshold.
Okay.
It's like health divided by 4 or something like that.
All right. So that's the extent that he drinks. You don't don't drink
Like I
heavier than
said, I
that.
don't know how much is a lot. That's an awful lot. For me, that would be an awful lot. Not just alcohol, but just liquid.
How does Kivvan normally behave when intoxicated?
Yeah. Is he a sleepy drunk? Is he a aggressive drunk?
I was kind of wondering about that. So
Because I'm a
his
sleepy drunk.
his disads are impulsiveness, so that's going to get worse. And he's got an odious personal habit, which will get worse, and overconfidence.
Right.
Outside of
He's
that
guy. He's the guy who ends up on the tables dancing.
Yeah, he kind of is.
Unfortunately, in this kind of environment, most of the people are going to be dancing around the table, clapping you on, because they want to see you run across a thing of shields.
Yeah, and that kind of fits in with the reason he drinks in the first place, to ward off the demons. So he's trying to get away from himself, and then runs right into himself.
And himself
Okay.
punches himself in the face.
Sometimes.
So, what would you say your behavior is with respect to decorum? Are you drawing negative attention to the
That.
order?
So he's only tipsy. He's not full on drunk, so he's not out of control. He's just
That's
really
valid.
loose. So he's going to be extra sarcastic, and he's probably going to end up accidentally insulting some people. But outside of that, he's not going to drop trow in the middle of the room and start waving it around.
Or peeing in the corner.
Alrighty.
And lots of talk about ladies and their fishes.
You're just jealous because you didn't get a fish.
I am.
So, is there anything else that is the characters want to do during this evening?
I don't think so, at least for me.
Yeah, I can't think of anything either. We're got lots of liquid, lots of dancing, being dumb. And it's off to bed.
Okay.
Yeah, I think after a while, Kivvan's probably gonna sink into a corner with a bit more alcohol, probably
And
remembering
melancholy.
what happened to the girl behind the door.
Okay.
What he left out was that they killed the girl behind the door.
It probably, yeah.
And for your benefit,
Dirty cheater.
there is
That looks about right,
great
though.
the great Stillwater Leviathan trophy.
It's a pity. I had already decided to rip off Athena for the holy symbol of the owl.
There's no reason you can't wear a badge.
What are you talking about? I mean, that's going to be in the cart, and somebody is going to have to use it to clobber a zombie or something.
Yeah.
So does Gareth, as he's carousing, does he hold this thing close with him all the time, walk around with it like it's a some sort of trophy achievement that he's proud of, or does it sit on the table?
He can make a necklace of it.
Well, no, it's not a necklace size. It's it's fairly big.
Well, he's fairly strong, isn't he?
Yeah. Well,
if it's a necklace, it's going to be some sort of B.A. Baracus bling type thing, massive, oversized.
That would be so good.
More Flava Flav than that, I think.
So how does Gareth parade this thing? Or does he parade it, or does it sit on the table?
I think it's probably going to depend on how the other people are reacting. If they're like, definitely enjoying it when it's being flashed around, then he will probably end up doing that. Acting like it's in solid gold, and it's actually not just a lump of wood that's been carved.
Righto. Well, yeah, it is an item that sparks up conversation, and the night will pass, and you guys will have a thoroughly good time. I guess you see a side of your employers that you haven't seen before. By the end of the night, you're all sort of looking to retire for the evening. And
Monsters attack. Fish animates.
Yeah, that'd be about right. Now you're a werefish.
Not so useful, that.
So before you all sort of set in, the night has died down and the festivities have sort of come to a close. Rolf will approach Gareth. He will say, from what I understand of you, you're an educated man. I assume you can read and write.
I can.
I wonder if you would be able to help me with something. It would be much appreciated. And he sort of lifts his arm, his crippled arm. He says, I've tried to do this on my own, but it's difficult for a number of reasons, and one is this. And he raises his arm, and you can see by his tone and stuff that it seems kind of serious.
Okay. How may I help?
He will sort of take you aside, and he's like pulls out. Oh, he's got a pack. Pulls out a bit of parchment, and you can see that he's started trying to write a letter, but he's writing with his offhand, so it's
Gotcha.
It's all messed up, and he says, "Yeah, I tried, but I just can't do it, and this has taken too long already. I'm really appreciative if you could help me write this." So he'll pull out a quill and some ink, and he'll begin to sit down and dictate a letter.
I
And
will warn
since
him that my penmanship is a little rusty, but it is
he
legible.
he chuckles. He says it's going to be a damn sight better than my effort. He says, "You'll forgive the personal nature of this, but I trust someone of your experience will understand. And since you are writing the letter, you can also read this out."
Oh boy.
Tricked you were.
Indeed. Right. The letter to Mara and Dinrick. I write concerning your son, brother Osric, who died on the road near Galvorn. I was with him when it happened. Sister Marion has told me that the order will send you a proper account in due course with the usual words concerning service, sacrifice, and the keeping of the flame. Those words are true, but they will not tell you what I believe you have a right to know. Osric was afraid. We all were. He did not hide it, and he did not allow it to master him. When the attack began, he could have sought cover, but Petra had fallen in the road and could not regain her feet. Osric went back for her. He stood over her until I reached them, and in doing so received the wound that killed him. He remained conscious for a little while afterward. He asked whether Petra was safe. When I told him she was, he said, then it was worth doing. Those were the last clear words he spoke. I should have brought him home to you. That was part of my duty, and I failed in it. I cannot ask you to forgive me, nor will I tell you that grief should be made easier by pride. I can only tell you that your son was brave when bravery was needed, kind when it cost him dearly, and remembered by those who survived because of him. When I return from this mission, I will come to you in person, if you will receive me, and answer whatever questions I can. May Solverath keep his name in light. Deacon Rolf Brennan, Order of the Pale Flame. I will give him the letter once it's done so he can read and make sure I didn't screw something up.
He'll read it and he will say thank you, and you can tell it is a very sincere thank you. He will take that.
You're right.
And
You're right. Your penmanship was really terrible.
I thought you said this was legible. Good Lord.
You're not a doctor, are you? So he will take the letter. He will thank you again, and you'll see that before he sort of retires for the night, he will hand that letter to the innkeep, which you imagine is to be forwarded on at some point.
Yep. Go with traveling merchants or something like that.
As is usually the way.
That is the way.
The last thing, and our timing is about right.
Well, I hope it's not the last thing.
Well, the last thing for this session. Oh, where is it? Let's see who it's going to be that we'll notice. Danjo.
Yo.
As the night has sort of gone on, you're the first to sort of notice that Petra is not in the room. The rest of the
Dun,
pale
dun, dun.
flame are present or preparing to return to the common room to sleep. But you'll notice that Petra is not present.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Nowhere in the inn.
No.
Go outside and look for her. He's probably the only person within the next 10 miles that isn't drunk.
Gareth isn't drunk.
All right. So
I'm
you
also
can
not
give
drunk.
me a perception roll. Do you let anyone else know, or are you just going to go out yourself?
Well, I'm probably writing the letter while he's doing this.
I'll tap someone on the shoulder and say, Ashwata-chan's missing. She's not in here. I might go look for her.
Who do you
Whose
tap?
shoulder shall you tap on?
The one who seems to be able to have the most able consciousness at the moment. Not as drunk as the other.
So not Kevin.
Probably
Yeah.
not. Probably Ari.
Booyah!
Yep. Are you sure you've looked around? Are you sure she's not here?
Well, I've looked and I can't see her.
Well, maybe we should go in and search for her.
That's probably why I can't see her.
All right. So, Ari, are you going to join Danjo?
I will.
Okay. So then you can give me a perception roll as well.
Okey-dokey. Nope,
All
Even,
right. So,
not actually.
Ooh.
Since
even
we're
as bad.
almost at the end, I'll use my luck.
okay.
Wow.
Are we doing this again?
No, this time I
Okay,
succeeded.
guess not.
Finally. Yep.
Okay. You will eventually find Petra.
Where is she?
She's been turned into a zombie.
Or a fish?
Zombie
She
fish.
has wandered off. And she's sitting next to a pond which has a number of fireflies that blink at the pond.
I remember having this kind of stuff back home in Florida. It's awesome.
They're the lost spirits of your ancestors coming back to see you in the midnight hour.
No, they're
Well-
insects with glowing butts.
No, the
She will
ancestor
hear you
spirits.
say that.
Oh, I guess I'll sit next to her.
The GM is buffering.
She's going to churn
Sorry,
to you
just
and
had someone-
tear her face off.
That's why you find them so beautiful, because they're your ancestor spirit.
She looks and says, "I've never seen anything like this before." And
We're
she'll
calming
look.
her out today.
She will look to Danjo, and she says, "Is that true? Are these spirits? Are these spirits that Solvrith didn't take?"
It's what my parents and my priests back home taught me.
Man, we are gonna make her super confused.
Uh-huh.
And she'll say, why do they do that?
Well, if it's not true, it is still nice to think of it that way.
She will sort of sigh ahead a little bit, or lower her head a little bit, and says, I think I prefer that they are not souls. I think it is better that they are taken by Solvrith. But she says again, why do they do that?
Clearly, she wants you guys to catch one.
It's the ancestor spirits mating, creating new spirits.
Now you're just making shit up.
Anybody can do that.
That is why there's kami everywhere, because the spirits mate. Like at times like this.
That's gross on many levels.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they do what?
Well, she says they blink like that. What lights them? Are they magic?
It's their farts.
Swamp gas, baby.
Well,
what I said.
For us, they light the way.
So she says, so you have a different story for the explanation.
Yes.
So yours is not kami.
No, no. They are creatures of the forest. And they light a path when you need it.
She's contemplating and thinking, and she says, I wonder if they'll light our path.
Well, it seems to me we're going the right way since they are all around us.
The kami.
Well, if you kill enough of them and smear them on the path.
Have you never seen them before? How come?
She will sort of shake her head. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And she says, I think I have lived a very sheltered life in the monastery.
Look on the bright
And
side. It just means
the world is a
that
lot
there are
bigger.
many.
Well, she says, the world is a lot bigger than I have ever imagined. And I have seen more in these short months than I've seen in an entire lifetime.
Enjoy the beauty of how they move with the wind and without the wind. There is beauty in life.
And then, as you're saying that, a firefly will sort of land on a lily, and then a moment later there'll be a fish that snaps at the firefly and disappears under the water.
There, explain that.
There's
I was
always a
hoping
bigger
it'd
fish.
blow up.
Now, if one of you guys starts singing the cycle of life, we're going to throw you in the pond.
And then she sort of stands and says, "I'm tired. I think I want to sleep now." And as she's walking back, she will she'll say, "Do you think we will be okay?"
I'm sure we will. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be fine.
And then the camera pans to evil eyes staring at you.
And then she'll sort of philosophically ask a question. She'll say, "Is it okay to keep secrets from friends?"
Dun, dun, dun.
She got bit.
And
She's pregnant.
Well,
with that, we will fade to black and close out the scene. All right, that will take us to time. Everyone will get 2 points
Ah, she didn't turn into anything.
yet.
Not yet.
yet.
Maybe she'll turn into a fish.
All right, so
Now that
2 points, anyone? Everyone?
Cool.
Roger.
And
Yep.
since this was a role-playing session, I think I'm going to give everyone a bonus point for good role-playing, since you actually did develop your characters a bit.
I
Yay.
accept this.
So 2 points plus a bonus point for good role-playing.
Yay, nearly a fifth of the way there.
An emergency improv.
The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Does anyone have any end of session character business they want to deal with? Ari, keep in mind that beginning of next session, your character will be effectively locked in.
Yeah, I mean, if I can do the changes before start to, next week, then I'll wait for next week. That's okay.
Sure.
More sumo.
Okay.
Yeah. I feel like we need to do a side session at some point and play that out in Fantastic Dungeon Grappling.
The wrestling match.
Uh-huh.
Sumo.
That would have, yeah, that would amass to control points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can probably play that out. Maybe we do that in the boards.
Good.
In the what do you call it? The MMA or something,
Oh, UFC.
or the UFC.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea because it would give us time to actually digest the rules properly.
Or we could wait around and see if there's one of those weeks where everybody where we're missing people.
Oh, that that brings me up. I need to head off for work. I'll be gone for like 10 days starting next Saturday my time, so next Friday your time. I'll have my laptop, but there's no guarantee
Oh,
that we'll have a session next week.
gotcha.
So noted.
Noted.
I'll let you know during the week whether we have a session, and the same could be for the week after that as well, possibly.
Right.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'll let you know before time. Maybe you can do the play up the wrestling match there. All right. If you are watching this and have any questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Please consider liking and subscribing to our YouTube and Twitch channels. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Off you go.